And so, on some important numbers this week, Tyson Sabateli and J Jody's track reached 30,000 views after 5 months, whereas Tato Soul's Murimo is at 100,000 without a music video in 3 months. Not Benjamin's Birth from the Earth featuring Pretty Ugly and Cass CPT is at 11,000 views after a month. On the other side, Nasty C surpassed Saudi, who has for the longest time been South Africa's #1 artist on Spotify, mainly because of his track with Kendrick Lamar, and this happened as Nasty C gained almost 200,000 monthly listeners after the release of his mixtape. And if you don't understand the significance of that, remember that there are less than 10 South African rappers with more than 200,000 monthly listeners. So Nasty C gained more listeners in a week than almost any South African rapper can think of had. But he still remains behind the main man, Blackie, who is almost at 900,000 monthly listeners, making him likely to be the first urban mainstream South African rapper with 1 million monthly listeners on Spotify. But talking millions, Nasty C also reached 1 million subscribers on YouTube, whereas his Zulu Man Some Power album has exited Spotify charts after 89 weeks, which has certified Strings and Blinks as his best-selling album yet, as it spent more weeks on the charts. Wordz seems to be having a numbers issue since his rumored split with A-Reece, as his numbers have dipped to as low as 17,000 monthly listeners. But TK Stacks has also seemingly found it very difficult to get A-Reece's fanbase to listen to his new track, which also featured Reece, as he only has 783 monthly listeners. Costa Teach is sitting at about 500,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, which means that there are technically less than 5 South African rappers with more numbers than Costa Teach. So technically, the rest of the game can definitely rest. AKA pulled out an impressive 361,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, whereas Zuchiko Dope dropped below 50,000 monthly listeners. The Big Hash also had impressive gains, sitting at almost 80,000 monthly listeners after becoming the first and only mainstream South African rapper to get featured on a FIFA soundtrack, whereas Makazi revealed on a Facebook post that the official number of people at a one-woman show was about 23,000, which is crazy. By the way, the artist sponsor for this video is Nebo Mauricio with his track Njakumbula. And if you guys want to check him out, I'll make sure the links are down below, as well as his socials.
When you mad, you don't answer me, looking geek for nail, I'll bomb you, clean, go and make plans. I'm under pressure, we are gazi, and I know it's hard to be away, and I know